order for us to grow, we have to walk into that wilderness season. And when I say wilderness, wilderness has to happen by ourselves. And sometimes the wilderness is out here in the wilderness and you're alone. And then sometimes it's diving off of that diving board and jumping. You have to do it in order to grow.
Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. Can you believe it? We are already in week 4. So let's just get right into it. In week 3, I addressed what was actually happening in my very own home, and I wanted to provide a little bit of transparency and let you know how I actually dealt with it in real time. This is not some stuff where I'm, telling you 5 ways to get through something. Like, this was real time, and I wanted to share it with you because I know that I'm not shouldering this alone. So I'm about to really go deeper, okay? And I mentioned that education has always been a close passion of mine, specifically serving underserved youth and their families. So I want to really kind of go into that a little bit. And I want to ask our educators a few questions. I kind of want to, and I'll tell you, I think that the field of education is one of the most noble professions on the planet. And I have to tell you, I actually used to say that education or educators going into that profession is the noblest profession on the planet. And I'm not afraid to say this now, but I don't really believe that anymore. I believe that the noblest profession comes from those in the custodial world. Those custodians in those schoolhouses, I think that is the most noblest. And I have to tell you why before I quickly get into this. I actually had a very heart-to-heart conversation with a custodian just last week. And you guys, talk about hard work. This guy had not had a day off in 1 year and a half. Now I want you all to let that sink in a little bit. I know that teachers or educators in the classroom work very, very hard. Many of them get a day off. Many of them get weeks off, months off in the summer. This custodian, and I confirmed it too, this custodian had not received a day off in a year and a half. And somehow, every single time I see this custodian, this man has the most beautiful smile on his face. I asked him why. Why? And he says, because I love the children. I want to make sure that this schoolhouse is the cleanest that it can be, because I don't believe that children can perform to the best of their ability if they are looking around and they see filth. A year and a half, and this is what he says. And guess what? He gets that 1 day off. This happened just last week. He gets that 1 day off from school, from work. And somehow they smelled a gas leak in the kitchen, in the cafeteria. Guess who they called? Guess who came in? On his first day off in a year and a half, he drives in as quickly as he can to that schoolhouse because he says, there is no way I'm going to allow these children to return to this school tomorrow and there be a situation where the children are unsafe. This is a custodian. This is somebody who cleans toilets, and he's grateful to do it. He takes out the trash, and he's grateful to do it, and he said he does it because he loves the children. Now, moving on, I just wanted to say that. And because I really used to believe that those in the classroom were, and don't get me wrong, educators are still very noble. But this guy changed my mind, y'all. He changed my mind. I'm grateful for people like him. Super grateful. So A few months ago, I was a keynote speaker for an organization here locally, and the topic that I kind of focused on was giving the parents a day off, giving the parents a break. And I'm not talking about like a physical day off or a physical break. I'm talking about the many fingers pointed to the parents when children are not doing the best that they can. So in this session here today with you all, I'm going to kind of attach myself to that theme again, because after talking with this custodian, I have to ask I have to ask the question: what are we doing? What are we doing? These children, they show up every single day and they're relying on you to give the best that you can. Give the best that you can. So, first and foremost, to my classroom teachers, I'm going to tell you something. If, for some reason, you don't love what you are doing, I almost beg you to please go find something else to do. Because these children need you to show up as many days as you can, as much as you can, giving your best and loving it while you're doing it. Loving it while you're doing it. Those children need you. To the principals, please, 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 if you are encouraging your teachers to become investigators where they are keeping files on children as a means to, I guess, provide evidence of a failure, stop doing that. Stop doing that. These children are more than numbers. These children are not just data. Stop doing that. Now, to our school board leaders, if for some reason you are getting on these school board seats as a stepping stone to build your political career, you are ruining the many lives of so many children. You need to be on those school board seats with the best interest of those children, every single child, their best interest has to always be at your heart. Always. Now, to our state legislators, if for some reason you only show up in that schoolhouse when you're invited, that's a problem. Because you have to believe that if you're going to pass legislation, if you're going to develop legislation based on numbers alone, I have to tell you, you're going about it the wrong way. I got an idea for you. How about you show up unannounced? Show up unannounced. Don't require your school leaders to roll out the red carpet when you arrive. Show up unannounced. See what is going on in your district. See what is going on in your schools. Your children need you. Your children need you. Now, I really can go on deeper and deeper and deeper, and I promise you, you got to continue to follow your girl, because I'm going to write about it in my blog, and it's going to show up in my book. But I just felt like I really needed to address that, because last week I talked about some of the challenges that were in my very own home. But after I told myself to relax, it was now time for me to address the situation more transparently or more authentically. And that is me talking to the teachers. That is me talking to the principals. That is me talking to the school board leaders. And that is me talking to the state legislators. You all, what are we doing? Truly, what are we doing? Now, I'm not that person who is always bringing problems to the table. See, I am a solution-focused individual. So I encourage all of those individuals, the teachers, the principals, the school board leaders, the state legislators. I would encourage you to do the same. Stop looking at only data. Stop looking at only numbers, because these children are not walking around here as numbers. They're not walking around here as numbers. They are breathing human beings who are just waiting for people to love them genuinely and to give them the skills needed to be independent, productive citizens. And so I need you as a parent. I need you as a parent, school teachers, principals, school board leaders, and state legislators to, as a parent, to be a community partner with me. Be a community partner with me, because this truly is a partnership. Now, in week 4, again, I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to go deeper because something has to be done. We can no longer leave the question open with, what are we doing? What are we doing? We can't leave that open. We can no longer leave that an open question. So next week, I'm going to go even deeper, because here I am. I'm a concerned citizen. Yes, I know that I'm a daughter of Christ. I'm a military wife. I'm an army wife. I'm a mom first, a mom of 2. But I'm also a concerned citizen. And I'm a mature voter, by the way. So I wanted to address that, and I really, really hope that I spoke to some hearts, and specifically to those individuals who are in leadership positions at the schoolhouse or on school board or are any state legislation. I really, really hope that I spoke to your heart, and I really hope that I moved you towards understanding, compassion, and empathy. And because at the end of the day, we have a mighty responsibility to these children, a mighty, mighty responsibility. So I'm going to end week 3 here with what I always end with, and that is, let's give the universe more of what it is craving. It is craving for you, it's craving for me to live our lives authentically, the most authentically we can. So let's give the universe more of what it is craving. And that is authenticity, and that is love. That is love, you all. So hit your girl up. You can find me on Facebook at The More Movement. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. If you have any questions, you need prayer, anything, you all, direct message me, and I'll hit you back up. Thank you for following me, and I'll see you next week.